What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the episode of the Dundalk Trapp podcast here with me, Gio, and Manti. Today we're gonna get some locks out. Hopefully it gets better for me. I've been freezing cold and yeah, it's been bad. But before we start, how you guys doing?
Doing good.
You know,
Same.
fine.
Raise back. Um, we had a little scare with Ben today with some school stuff, but it was looking like to be a real tragedy. But we're all good now, and we're ready to give out some locks.
Yeah, it got scary for a little while. I don't know. I walked into the room and I really thought that they weren't gonna let me play this year. Um, Hopefully nobody on our team watches this because they'll know. But I'm
I
back.
think only Cody does say should be fine.
I'm
Yep.
true. I'm back. So yeah, we're locked in this year.
All right, my three bets for the day are Hurricanes -1.5 against the Blue Jackets, Vegas money line against the Panthers, and Celtics minus 3 against the Nets. Hurricanes -1.5. Carolina's been one of the best teams in the league this past month after their 11-game win streak, and it was actually snapped by the Blue Jackets, and they're coming off a tough loss to the Devils, and the Blue Jackets are one of the worst teams in the league, and they're allowing like 4 goals allowed at home, so this should be an easy game for the Hurricanes, especially coming off 2 losses. And then I have Vegas money line against the Panthers is -130. Vegas is coming off a very bad loss to LA on home ice, and they're on 4 days rest, and the Panthers are really not that good this year. They're really off and on. So Vegas, all 4 days rest, should be a good win for them. And then Celtics -3 against the Nets. They're coming off a back to back, but the Nets don't have KD, and Tatum is going to go into Brooklyn and drag his nuts like he did last year in the playoffs. That's all that needs to be said. Celtics -3, Vegas money line, Hurricanes -1.5.
Ray does not seem to be happy with those picks. But Ray, you can go next.
All right. Kind of a weird slate tomorrow, but all right. Three plays for tomorrow. We're going Youngstown. Oh my gosh. All right. All right. Three plays for tomorrow. We're going Youngstown State money line. We're going JMU -3.5, and we're going Washington -1.5. Youngstown State has played good this year. They're 12-5, going up against a struggling Detroit team who's lost their last three. Youngstown State is very good offensively. They score 85 a game, shoot the three pretty well at 40%. And this Detroit team really does not do much of anything well. They are bad on defense, having like one of the worst defensive ratings at like 357th in the country. Um, so I think Youngstown State can do whatever they want offensively and win the game. JMU -3.5. They've been struggling losing their last two, but I think they get back on track here against the South Alabama team that struggled early on in the year. So I think even though it's on the road, they win and cover the spread. And lastly, Washington -1.5 at home against Stanford. Stanford's lost a lot of games they should have won. So I think this Washington team, having played good last week against Arizona, back at home, they should win this game and win it pretty easily, I think.
All right. Um, my three best bets for the day: Seattle -3, Joel Embiid over 10.5 rebounds, and Ben Simmons over 6.5 assists. Um, Seattle has been one of the best mid-major teams this year. They're at home. New Mexico State's having a down year. They're usually pretty good, make the tournament, but they're having a down year. And they both played Cal Baptist. Seattle ended up winning that game by like 6, and New Mexico State lost, and that was at home. So with Seattle being at home, I think they win this game pretty handily. Should be by more than one basket. So I like that -3. Joel Embiid over 10.5 rebounds. He's gone over this in 3 straight games, including a matchup with the Thunder that they played a few games ago. And Oklahoma City allows the most rebounds in the NBA. They don't have a great big man, so that should allow Joel Embiid to get a ton of boards in the game tomorrow. I think we definitely see a double double from him, and I think he'll go at least one more rebound than he needs to. So I like him to get at least 11. And then Ben Simmons over 6.5 assists. With no KD, I think Ben Simmons has the ball in his hands way more than he usually does, and he's not a scorer. So if he has the ball in his hands, he should be dishing it out. Assists. He's gone over this total in 3 of his last 4. And Gio thinks the Celtics are going to handle the Nets, but I think it'll be a close game. because with the line being this low with KD out, that clearly means something. I think it's a tight game, so Ben Simmons shouldn't have any time, sat out, and should play the most minutes to get him these assists. I'm freezing cold right now. It's time to get time to heat back up. And usually I'm pretty confident with these plays, but lately it hasn't been working so well. But now the parlay plus 617, Seattle, all money lines, parlay plus 617, Seattle, Old Dominion, Texas A&M, Corpus Christi, Long Beach State, Washington, and the Carolina Hurricanes for hockey. Like I said, 20 to win, 120, whatever you want to put on it. Plus 617. Hopefully we can win our first parlay. And if you watched the last TikTok and didn't listen, you'd have won. So that's it. That's it for our bets. But me and Gio, I think Ray's sticking with what he has. Me and Gio have to give out our AFC bracket.
Yeah, one thing. I think Gio's Celtics record when he bets them will improve to 1-9 tomorrow. He had his one win last week against the Mavericks, but gosh, every time, and I've read the Celtics with them a few times this year, and they just shit the bed every time he bets on them. I mean, what did they lose to the Pacers by 50 that one night? I mean, remember that bet?
I remember that game. I fully remember that game. They were down
Yeah.
30 at halftime.
Yeah. Well, Manti doesn't think straight sometimes. So, all right. So we're gonna start off with my new AFC side of the bracket. Starts me to say it. Ravens are gonna lose to the Bengals. I still think Jacksonville beats the Chargers, and then Chiefs play the Jacksonville. They'll beat them. Bills play the Bengals. Bills beat the Bengals. I did have the Chiefs going to the Super Bowl, but I'm gonna say the Bills beat the Chiefs, and then Bills beat the Eagles in the Super Bowl. Super Bowl champions Bills. That's my new bracket.
So what made the change of
No, I
the
know,
Chiefs
just
game? Oh, the Ravens losing earlier. Okay, that makes sense. I get that now.
no,
So the
I was
Ravens
just
game. No, I respect that. That makes sense.
Yeah, that really has a lot of impact. No, I think you
So
just didn't want both one seeds to make the Super Bowl because it makes them look like a complete, square better. But
didn't even think about that, but Manti, you think about stuff and
I
things
mean,
to do.
yeah, you have the 1 and 2 seed on the NFC side, 1 and 2 on the. I mean,
Well, I
get a
mean,
little
who do you?
creativity in there, Gio.
Okay, yeah. You think Tom Brady's going to go to the Super Bowl again? Okay,
I
Manti.
bet you he wins Monday night.
Okay,
Bet
Manti.
that, Gio.
Then
Want to bet that,
yeah,
Gio?
I like that.
I will bet that.
All right. Well, we'll figure out an amount Monday night, and we'll have a.
I'm gonna side with Gio there. But my AFC bets, um, I think regardless if Lamar plays now, whatever. So the knee swelling's up. Don't trust him. Don't trust any of it. I think if he plays, he's gonna be banged up. If him at 50% is better than what we have. However, regardless, I'm gonna be taking the Bengals to beat the Ravens. I don't think they handle us though. I think the Ravens put up a good fight. Ravens defense is too good. They just added the best linebacker in football for 5 more years. Ray's pissed. Ray doesn't know how to act. Ray doesn't know really what to see. But we got the best linebacker in football for 5 more years, which is great. But I still have us losing. I do think it'll be a hard-nosed game. I'm excited to watch the defense play dirty, uh, and kind of hit some stuff like they did last week. Next, of course, I'm not going to switch up other picks. I'm going to stick with Bills beating the Dolphins and Chargers beating the Jaguars, and then that would match up the Chiefs and the Chargers. I have the Chiefs winning that game, and Bills Bengals. I like the Bills taking down the Bengals, and then Bills Chiefs. I like the Bills winning that, and Bills beating the 49ers in the Super Bowl. Still sticking with 49ers making it. I think the Bills come out on top. Like the Bills. Actually, I usually am a very big hater. But I like the Bills. I think Josh Allen's a good quarterback. I think their defense is going to get more healthy with Hyde back. I think Hyde will be back maybe next round, if not the AFC Championship game. I think they get to the AFC Championship game regardless. So I think they get Hyde back in the postseason, which is much needed. And yeah, I think their secondary gets better. And really, that's the only thing I can see holding them back from winning a Super Bowl is their defense. The offense doesn't scare me at all. I just think that they're going to turn it on in the playoffs like they have. And I think they make the Super Bowl and beat a 49ers team, which I think is just quarterback shy. I think, they have the best system for a quarterback, but in the Super Bowl, they're going to need Purdy to do stuff that he hasn't done before, and I think they're going to come up just shy. So I'm going with the Bills to beat the 49ers in the Super Bowl. But yeah, that's my picks. You guys got anything else you saw today or want to talk about for tomorrow? Gio, you have any hockey stuff? Because when I saw you earlier today, you were telling me just about how good your hockey picks have been.
There is a ton of hockey tomorrow, but I don't. There's a ton. I mean, the amount of stick and puck tomorrow is insane. But I'm sticking with my two. I'm really confident in them.
Now explain to me, how does the Ravens losing first round impact the
Well,
AFC matchup?
all right. So Manti, I sat down and I thought about it, and I said, well, with everything going on with the Bills, they're going to be playing hard. They're going to want to win the Super Bowl. I don't see
As every
them.
team in that thing is gonna want to.
No, but I'm saying I don't see them going back to Kansas City
They're
and
not going to be in
losing.
Kansas City.
Oh no, it's going to be. Oh, that's right. Okay, well, I don't see them losing the Kansas City in the AFC Championship game again. I don't.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Wait, Gio, before Ray he's asked the second question, did you know before this that
Yeah.
the
Yes.
AFC champ?
If
Okay,
yes, yes. Okay, Manti.
No, G, you're just funny. I mean,
No, oh my God, bro. Here we go. Oh,
I
here's
gotta
our
give
man.
you credit. You're right, Eddie. Bet I tell you to. So that's that.
that is
Here's our man.
trust. I fucking
Anthony
don't.
Brown. We are so fucked.
There he is.
Defense will come to play.
And there's the fucking dumbass coach of ours. Oh,
Dude,
everything's fine. Oh, Lamar will be back. Oh, it'll be great. We're gonna win the Super Bowl. Huh.
look at fucking Peter. Oh my God, bro.
Actually, no, that's actually extremely wrong, Ray. He is content with making the playoffs and not winning Super Bowl. I don't think he flexes a Super Bowl. I think he is perfectly fine with what they did this year. So
No, he thinks everything's gonna be fine this year, and that they have a chance to win the Super Bowl. So
I
he
don't think he
thinks.
thinks we have a chance. I think he thinks they have no chance, and I think he's going to be extremely happy that they made the playoffs and proud of his guys.
And
I think
hopefully he
that's the type of
retires.
guy he is.
Oh, and the guys sitting at the end of the bar who won Super Bowl wins, they just don't know how. They don't know what
Yep.
it takes. You need to have a healthy fucking quarterback, first of all. You need to have an offensive coordinator that knows what the fuck he's doing. You need to have a head coach that can make critical decisions effectively.
Well, I'm going to be honest. I fully disagree there. I think challenging a first down spot in the first quarter with 12 minutes left in the game is very smart, and I think that puts you in a good position to
Yeah,
win the
I think
game when you
moving the
get
ball
down.
back an inch instead of it being fourth and a millimeter will
Yeah,
really help them.
I fully agree there. I mean, he is garbage.
Or calling a timeout in the first 2 minutes of the second half when that could be used at the end of the game. But that really would
I
have a big impact.
the biggest thing that kills me with that situation, if older coaches like Harbaugh, if you're a horrible coach, Harbaugh just hasn't adjusted to time. Harbaugh's still coaching like it's 2008. If you are a bad coach or you're struggling with other stuff, time management is like
It should be
inexcusable to
number
not be a
fucking
good
one.
one.
Look, I can understand if you make a few time management errors, if you're calling the plays like, Andy Reid does, Sean McVay, other coaches, Mike McDaniel, they all call the plays. Harbaugh just sits there, not even a fucking play sheet in his hands half the
Yep.
times. And
Doesn't Gus isn't playing.
what?
Doesn't know that Gus is not playing
Yep.
and
And
gets upset.
you can't even call timeouts when you're supposed to. You can't even get your team out of timeouts on the field before getting a delay of game penalty. You can't even get 12, 11 men on the field and not 12 after a timeout. I mean, what the fuck?
It's just time to go. Gio, what do you think? Gio, you a big Harbaugh fan?
No, I fucking hate him. And after the Steelers game, I was chanting, "Fire fucking Harbaugh."
I can say yes, he did do that. He was on FaceTime with me, or he was actually on a phone call, and I made him scream "Fire Harbaugh." He did scream that. That's respect. He's not lying there, guys. He did scream "Fire Harbaugh," and it
He's
sounded
been
like
needing
nobody
to go
was
for
chanting it
years.
with him.
He's been needing to go for years.
You're right. I was wrong. I see. That's one thing you guys can't say. If I'm wrong, I will admit it. If Lamar Jackson leaves the Ravens and sucks, I will say, Ray, you're right. I will tell you when I'm wrong. I last year extremely defended Harbaugh and said, "Damn, he had a bad squad too early. I think they should have got rid of him." Now looking back on it, but D'Amico Ryan said he doesn't want to interview with some squad, so I think that's just setting it up. I think it's the blueprint. We get D'Amico Ryan's. D'Amico Ryan's turns Roquan Smith. Roquan Smith's already the best linebacker in football. D'Amico Ryan's turns Roquan Smith into God himself, and it gets ugly.
I guarantee John Harbaugh is the coach of the Ravens next year. I guarantee it.
I think that'll happen too. However,
And I say there's even a 50-50 shot Greg Roman comes back.
I don't think
I
so.
think
I
that
think he's.
is
I
true.
think I don't think so. All right. Well, you guys can mark this down. I told my dad this last night. Write it down right now. If the Ravens move on from Lamar Jackson and Greg Roman is still the offensive coordinator, you will not see me cheer for the Ravens once again in my lifetime. If the Ravens move on from Lamar and hold on to Greg Roman, it's it. I will not. I will not root for them.
Well, you know, one of those is happening.
Uh,
Now you got to see if Greg Roman will be fired.
Uh-huh.
Because Lamar, I mean, they're going to tag him. He's not going to play. We're going to trade him. And, that's that. I'd give it, here, realistic shot, non-biased. 80% chance he's gone, 20 he stays.
60-40.
I agree, Gio. I think it's unfair to say 80-20 because Lamar has been so quiet about everything that happened. You can't say you know what he's going to do.
Well, what do you want him to say
Word.
flat out? Oh, I'm leaving during the middle of the year.
I mean, you could say, well, yeah, well, they don't pay me. I'm not going to be like Lamar
Well,
has
yeah,
been.
he hadn't
dead
been
silent.
available to the media in weeks, so no one knows what he's thinking.
He's hurt.
Yeah, that's my point. No one knows what he's thinking.
I'm not going to stress myself out more with the argument with Manti. I think Lamar is a great quarterback in the NFL, and whoever gets him will immediately become a playoff contender. And if a team like the Jets, a team like the Dolphins gets him, it's going to get real ugly. So,
I mean, if he goes on the Jets, they would be a Super Bowl contender, I think.
your whole point was that he can't win. Your whole point.
I mean, contender.
Ray is Frank.
He
Ray
would not
is
win
fucking Frank. He goes somewhere else. He's a contender.
He will.
He can't win the playoffs. So that was your point. That was your big blueprint that you made that why we shouldn't pay him. He can't win the playoffs. That was like
I don't think he will win.
You put a PowerPoint
I said
on here.
contender. They are not a playoff team. They will be a super playoff team with Lamar, which makes
Contender.
sense.
Ray spoke what he really felt a couple minutes ago. Give it up, Gio. Give it up. Give it up for Ray. Ray just gave how he really felt, and I respect that, Ray. See, I always knew you had a true sense of thought inside of you, and you spoke it there. I was Ray. You went up a couple points in my book there because at least you know. At least
That's great because every day I strive to move up a few points in the Ben Respect book.
You should. You should. That's it. Tune in tomorrow. We'll get more locks out, and yeah, hopefully Ray gets out of tier 1.